In this recording, I'm going to look at Pasquali's Thoroughbass Made Easy, the first part of it. Now, Pasquali's work was at one time the most important work on Thoroughbass in the English-speaking world, and the Oxford Companion to Music notes that the publishers said that their entire fortune was to do with sales of this book. So it was at one point an extremely important book, and the other book that was very popular was that by Heck, apparently. These were the two best-selling Thoroughbass manuals in the 1800s. So this, published at the end of the 1700s by Niccolo Pasquali, Thoroughbass Made Easy, the figures above the notes explained with directions how to use them. Thoroughbass is performed by adding to the notes of the bass such chords as properly belong to them, so that while the left hand plays the bass note, the right hand, at the same time, plays 3 or 4 different notes along with it, not successively, but together and at once. And from this combination of sounds results what is called harmony. But, as it would always be difficult and often impossible to guess at the precise chords which the composer intends should accompany the various notes of the bass, without comparing that bass with its treble, and other parts designed to be played or sung with it, as a remedy for this, figures have been introduced, which, being placed directly above the bass notes, give a full view at once of the chords that are proper to accompany them, so that, strictly speaking, to play Thoroughbass is to play the notes with the left hand and the figures with the right. See the example, which we will see later. Among the various chords in use, the chief, which is called the perfect or common chord, occurring more frequently than any of the rest, shall be first explained. It is marked thus: 8-5-3, which signifies that together with any note of the bass, over which the above figures are placed, the right hand is to play its 3rd, 5th, and 8th or octave, and the manner of executing it will be best understood by an example. Let the bass note be C. The first thing to be done is to prepare a finger of the left hand for striking that key. Then begin at that C, and reckoning it the first, count 3 notes upwards. I'm going to jump up an octave here though, which will bring you to E, the 3rd to C. And let the thumb of the right hand be prepared for striking that key. And here I must observe, by way of caution, that in reckoning the notes, that's counting them, which are expressed by the figures, the long keys are only to be regarded, the short ones serving to denote sharps or flats, for which there is no occasion in the present case. So here we have Pasquali's note. 8-5-3, we strike the C. This is the bass or left hand. Note number 2. Then the thumb of the right hand strikes the 3. And so we have this. Having thus made sure of the first or lowest figure, namely 3, begin again at C, and still reckoning it 1, counting it as 1, count upwards until you come to 5, which brings you to G, which is the 5th to C, expressed by the middle figure 5 in the 8-5-3 that we saw before. And let the first finger be prepared for striking that key. By these means, 2 of the figures are secured, 5 and 3, with the bass note Then begin once more at C, and counting in the same manner 8 notes upwards, the 8th will prove another C, the octave to the bass, expressed by the highest figure 8, and the 4th finger must be made ready for striking that key. When all the fingers are thus prepared, bring them down on the keys equally and at once, and this is Thoroughbass. We delicate C with its common chord. So to revise, we choose our bass, the bass or left hand, then the 3rd, then the 5th, and finally there, note 5, we have the full chord, and number 6 showing how it may be written without the notes above. And this is Thoroughbass. But these 3 figures are not always played in the same order, but as occasion requires, may be varied in 3 different ways. So we have 3, 5, 8, which we've seen already. Or we can have 5, 8, 3. Or we can have 8, 3, 5. Let the same example be viewed in notes, that's notes on the stave, being A with its common chord, and by which it will appear that in each of these ways the chord is composed of the self same notes, i.e. C, E, A, i.e. id est, that is, C, E, A, or E, A, C, or A, C, E. The removing any of these notes an octave higher, as it happens to the C in the second way, and to both C and E in the last, makes no alteration to the rules of harmony, which consider the notes of chords only as they are intrinsically in themselves, not as they are occasionally played high or low, the performer always choosing that way which is most convenient to his hand, or consistent with some rules that presently shall be treated of, shall be explained or dealt with. But as a beginner might find a difficulty in carrying 3 different ways in his mind, for every note of the bass that bears common chord, I have only chosen 2, which will be sufficient to learn by, till he has become acquainted with all the rules, and then with ease he may apply any of the 3 at pleasure. So now we're looking at these in notes. So the bass note is A, and we have the 3rd, the 5th, and the 8th. And in the second example, we have the 5th, we have the 8th, and we have the 3rd. And in the final example, we have the 8th, the 3rd, and the 5th.